Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, I want to talk about programming. I've been programming since I was probably about 15, and I've loved it ever since the first class I took because it kind of provided a structure and creativity that's kind of rare in a lot of different fields, and because it's the type of science that you can basically practice on your own anywhere in front of a computer, but also be creative about experimentation and failure. Like, failure is a huge part of programming, um, because you have to know what the errors mean. Errors mean something. Every time you fail, there's an error, and that error is signaling something is going wrong somewhere. And so you have to go through it logically, just like deducing what's going wrong, why is it going wrong. And a lot of times in programming, you have no freaking idea why it's going wrong, and you have to spend almost an entire day, sometimes 2 days, hours upon hours, just thinking and doing structured thinking. And that's the other thing programming provides, is it shows you a great way of thinking. It's an exercise in thinking. Some of the best programmers probably will think a lot, and they understand start understanding what is important, what is not important, what is an efficient way to do something versus what is an inefficient way of doing things, and both have their uses. Actually, inefficient ways of doing things are actually very useful in cases where you want to get something out quick, like these next videos that I need to make. So last day, procrastinating, crunching time, right? So it's crunch time, and it's going to be of low quality, but it'll get the job done. And that's what senior engineers understand about software. A lot of times you don't need it to be perfect. You just need it to get the job done, and you can fix it if necessary later, because time is money. And a lot of big softwares are, you know, they'll they'll they have big impacts, and if you are not even able to start it up, then that is wasted time, right? And that is just a way of thinking. There will be time for improvements later on if you have the time, the resources to do it. But a lot of people tend to think that you need to engineer the perfect software before you can, actually start using it. But I found that that's actually not a good way of doing things, because it often forces a certain way of doing things, um, that is very rigid, and you can't improve upon it. Or if you want to make big changes, it's going to be very, very hard to do. So sometimes it's actually better to start with something low quality, something very basic, and just go from there. Just build yourself up from a foundation, rather than trying to build out the entirety of the thing before you have even dug a hole in the ground. So this is something like software engineers understand, especially at the senior level. So I love programming because it shows me a great way of thinking about life as well. There's a lot of things in life you have to approach in a manner which is resource intensive, right? Money intensive, time constraints, money constraints. And even if you have a lot of time, even if you have a lot of money, you have to use it productively. You have to use your things to your advantage productively. And programming is a great way of logically thinking about the world. And that's what I love about it.